Hey, and welcome to the Board Game Batcave, where this week we're going to be reviewing Shadows of Brimstone, the Swamps of Death version. I'm Chris.
Jared Gilbert.
This is Mike, the OGG.
And we're going to break it down for you into four major components of components, replayability, gameplay, and theme. And we might as well get started right in on it because we really like this game. So.
Yeah. Yep.
Components.
The minis, look great and everything. And no cardboard little play representations. You've got the actual little plastic minis for your characters, for the monsters. They give you a ton of stuff with this. A ton of markers, tokens, character sheets, and the map is reminiscent, sort of, for me, of Massive Mystics. They use a really good map, thick, board stuff and everything. They puzzle lock together or whatever, but it's random according to your cards or whatever. So the map can always change, so replayability for the maps would be really cool. And the maps themselves are done really well. I was very impressed with the components for this game. I'm going to give it like a 9. What? And, I could have probably even gone higher, but I'm going to hold it back just a bit. 9. I was really impressed with the components for this game.
I'm saying, well, this is one of those, if that box collapsed right now and opened up, we would die from all the stuff that fell on us. Yeah. It's that much stuff. I covered my entire gaming
It feels like a 40-pounder when you get that box. I mean, there's a lot in it.
And the fact that you can buy the City of Ancients version and combine them to make a huge set just scares me a little bit, to be honest. So the only complaint I have about the components is that they're not assembled. And I know that used to be not a big deal. Everything came where you had to assemble it. But nowadays, come on. I mean, everybody assembles them for you, and it maybe even paints them for you.
Yeah, but that's one of those things also. You're going to swap it off. You get some assembly, but whenever you put in the time to assemble it and you get a product like this, then, I mean that's a fair swap off.
Some people are like, enjoy the assembly, like take time to make it a little...
I would not.
I didn't.
No.
I mean, I didn't.
I would not like it, but I think it's well worth it for that. If that's your main con about.
Well, that's just going to knock off. It was going to be a 10.
Yeah.
But that's going to make it a 9.5.
I got you.
Because that is, to be perfect, to be a 10.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be pre-done But now I can't even get this guy back in the box. He's too big.
Well, I guess you want to with a game piece like that, though.
I think maybe they didn't expect me to glue it all together so I could take him apart, but I did, and so now
looks awesome.
He can't go back in the box.
Yep.
So 9.5 for me.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's pretty strong, and I'm not going to be able to argue with you all too much on this one either. I think for a game like this, you really do start out at a 10 and figure out why you're going to knock it down, and it's for the same reasons that Chris already mentioned. Assembly required is becoming a thing of the past, so that surprised me a little bit. So that comes down just a little bit, and then again, if you're to try to get a perfect rating, you'd have to have everything, and so then pre-painted would have been a nice touch there too. Of course, I know there are some of you out there that love putting it together and like being able to paint it yourself so you can customize it. So, for you all, that's going to be a big plus. For me, it's going to take it down just to an 8.5, but still really strong. The map tiles, well, not really even tiles. They're not strictly tiles. They're different shaped pieces that fit together, but they fit together really well, and it works really well. The way they've got it set up to how you cap off the entrances, so the pieces are really interchangeable, I think is a good way of doing it. So all in all, it's an 8.5. It's really excellent. You get a ton of stuff, and everything that you do get is well made and looks good.
Why are you rating it at 8.5 then?
Just because of the assembly, and they're not pre-painted, and just you know, not everything can be perfect, you know, but it's as close as you can get. It really is. Once they are put together, they look fantastic.
I'll rate it high because I appreciate it. They could have, a lot of games like this, they could have cheaped it out. They could have gone bases in like a cardboard stuck, two-dimensional kind of thing. So I don't care what these guys say. In my book, well then.
And you know, don't get us wrong. You pay for it. This is an expensive game.
Yeah.
You know, but like with anything else, you watch your sales. You keep an eye on it. You can get a good deal on it. But regardless of what you end up paying for it, you're going to feel like you get your money's worth when you open that box.
Yeah.
I've noticed the last couple of years we'll talk about that in the next category, which is theme.
Theme, mixing a not quite, but a Cthulhu horror-esque mixture with cowboys, a Wild West. I dig it. I don't see it very much. You know, the zombie horror thing is still going and it's strong and everything. And I like the horror theme games, but then you add a little twitch to it, you know, a little twist there. And the cowboy thing did it for me. You know, I like the combo. Yeah, gunslingers in an old abandoned mine or whatever, and then you find, you know, tentacle beast or demons or stuff like that. I haven't seen it before. If I haven't seen it very often or done this well. I'm going to go with 9. I'm going to go with 9 again for theme or whatever because it twisted enough where it made it really interesting for me.
Well, I was about to say on theme that the last couple of years I've noticed there's a lot of these, I call them dungeon crawl games, where you have either like Mice and Mystics where you have tiles or you have the Temple of Elemental Evil or some of the other D&D type, you know, Descent type games where you're basically laying out the map as you go.
Yeah.
And trekking through it, and this took that theme, well, they took that gameplay, whatever, and put the best theme on it.
Yeah.
Because it's not, don't get us wrong, it's not Cthulhu, it's not that mythos.
Yeah.
But it's very much like it with the beast from another dimension, you know, coming through.
Yeah.
And I just was looking it up the other day, and, you know, if you buy the second set, you get the mines in both from the city of Brimstone. You get these mines where you're going down to get this dark stone stuff from it.
Yeah.
And that's what is coming from the other world. In both sets you get the mines, but in each set is a different other world, where one is the Swamps of Death and the other is the City of the Ancients. And I just noticed they just come out with another expansion where there's a lava world that you can go to.
That's cool.
And it's got these robot type lava guys in it. And I thought, I don't know how much it's priced for, but that's something I can see me playing this type of game for a long time, like a campaign type.
Yeah, and it is like a Mice and Mystics game. It's almost like a chapter
storytelling.
Yeah, a feel to it. And let me tell you, we just completed, if we want to use that point of reference, we completed like the second game, like chapter 2, maybe or so. And let me tell you, it took a while. We used almost all the tiles in the game to complete our mission. It took a long time, you know.
So, theme, the cowboys and the now robots. Maybe it looks like there's robots in this new expansion. There's a whole world out there. They can do anything with this because they have the dimensional thing, and so I love it. I don't do this much, but I'm going to give it a 10 for theme.
Wow!
Because I think it's not only Cowboys and Cthulhu is awesome, but it's not going to stop there.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be able to do maybe not superheroes or something non-horror, but they can really do any horror themed for a horror game. And I don't like horror games. I actually kind of don't like them, except I like the Us Against the World zombie type deal.
You don't like the million zombie
I do
games
like Us Against the World thing,
Oh.
but I don't like. I'm not a fan of look how scary that looks and whatever. It doesn't do anything to me. But Cowboys mixed with that, give me more of that.
See, I think the theme incorporates it really well because whenever you're playing the game, you'll come across some instances or some encounter will happen, and you'll read from the book. And I was getting very much like a betrayal
House on the Hill.
House on the Hill kind of thing where you read it.
Yeah.
And it's not just the cowboy and the horror, but it's cowboy horror together to explain what's going on. And theme-wise, I think that really added something.
Like the old miner we ran into that
Yeah.
wound up being crazy and
It
attacking
exploded
us.
and gore everywhere, you know. That really, it combined them both and it worked really well.
It also had that little dead of winter type thing where you got a choice.
Sure
If
did.
you roll this, you get this happens. If you don't roll
Yeah.
that, you know, has an ability score element.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm going to go, why not? 10.
10.
I feel good in that.
Wow.
Okay.
That's crazy. But understandable. I can see how you get there. I'm really loving the cowboy theme thing right now as well. You know, pirates are always going to be a winner for me, and I'm finding out that the cowboy, the Wild West thing works for me really well too. So I really liked it, and I do think, you know, as they've said, it's not officially Cthulhu, but it's pretty close. It's that same kind of thing. It's the madness of just the sheer
There is
horror.
sanity. Yeah, you can get
You
low
know,
sanity.
just the
Elder God kind of feel.
yeah,
to it,
just
you know.
the tension and the pending doom is enough to drive your characters a little bit crazy, you know. So that's in there. I like it an awful lot also. So I think it probably needs to come in at a 9. 9.0 for me is really strong.
That's basically a 10 for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And you know, some of the things that they've already touched on too will lead us into our next category of gameplay. But I think it's a really great mixture of kind of an RPG along with it's a dungeon crawl. There's a huge storytelling aspect to it, and you can run it in campaign style. So for me, I guess, you know, just sort of introducing the gameplay, I liked all the different aspects of the gameplay.
I did too, and I think that added so much to a game like this. It's really immersive. You know, it is a combination of a board game and like a RPG and everything, because basically you're going to get a mission. You're in town with your character that can advance as, you know, it gains experience, like a character in D&D or something else. You can do stuff in town. You can buy supplies. You can upgrade your equipment. And all this is like on the city board before you ever go into the map board, you know. This is like your character preparing. And you don't see that very much at all. That's pretty darn rare. So it's really an immersive game and everything. And, you know, we play a ton of RPGs, and we have for, you know, ever since we were teens or younger, most of us and everything. So we've, you know, I've played RPGs for over 30 years or so. And this had a really nice board game RPG feel to it that really worked with the theme. Like I said, really immersive and everything. Gave me more than what I was really expecting for the game.
Yeah.
So as far as the gameplay, I'm going to go 10 on that. And I don't think I've ever gone to 10 on anything before. But, I mean, it just gave me so much that I wasn't expecting. Did it really well, too. You know, I mean, it knocked it out of the park for me.
You know, it's what I've been sitting here thinking about it while you were talking, and I think that's what it is. This is an RPG.
Yeah.
It's a board game because it has miniatures and the board and the dice and all that and the chits and whatever, but it's really an RPG that's just masquerading as a board game.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we enjoy it so much.
I think so. I think I wouldn't classify it, you know, as it's a mixture. Yeah, because they do railroad you somewhat.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Have you
an
played something like that?
yeah, but an RPG to me is a world where you can do
Sandbox.
anything. It's sandbox. You can go anywhere, do anything, and you do feel a lot like that in this game. But like I said, it's a mixture for me, but it really has a strong RPG board game feel. You know, a great combination.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see where you're going with it.
And the gameplay I really enjoyed. It was a little overwhelming when I first started trying to. It has 2 books that are like books, not just pamphlets. And one's supposed to be the adventure book, but it really has all the stuff that's just for the Swamps of Death version, which is like how the priest cast all his blessings and stuff. And I mean, it's like a lot of prepared work for this game, but it winds up working for it because if it runs smoothly, it's very immersive, like you said.
Yeah.
And the gameplay was out of this world.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
But I was going back a little bit on the theme part about the Cthulhu. The thing I liked about it that it wasn't Cthulhu is that when I play Cthulhu games, I never feel like I can win. There's no...
Yeah.
It's always hopeless, and that's part of Cthulhu charm is that you know you're going to die. It's a nihilistic game where you're just doing the best you can until the end. This game you actually feel like you can win. There's a chance, even no matter how small it is.
Yeah.
Except whenever you have that one room pop up with like everybody's dead and 40 things in it. But it also in the gameplay allows you to die in this game and then make another character to earn money to get you resurrected.
And we did really good on our missions, but isn't it where if you start doing bad on a mission or take too long, bad stuff actually happens
in town?
They
escape the mines.
Yeah. So you could go back to town after a mission, and if you take too long,
it's all burned to the ground.
Yeah, bad stuff happens in town or whatever. So that also gives you a feel of what I'm doing in the game affects so much in the game, you know.
I won't have many complaints about gameplay other than it's a little hard to track because when you put this game up, I was trying to figure out systems for how to pull it back out and still remember where we were all at. So I was having to write down everybody's possessions and
this game actually comes with character sheets that you can fill out how your character is doing. Yeah. That way, next time we play, we can more or less get the same character going and everything.
I'm going to give it a 9 for gameplay. I think I don't know what, but I think there was something that could streamline a little bit more. Maybe make it a little simpler. Maybe have a quick start version or something. Oof. But it's a lot, and I like it. So
it's a sad day when Chris is counting off for like the game had too much immersive stuff. Too much was going on. I was in the world too much, and I'm going to count against it. Really? Okay.
Sandy Point loss. I think I just rated it the same as you did. No, you said 10, didn't you? That's right.
Yeah, you gave it a 10. So I'm just going to fall right in between there and take the easy way out and go with a 9.5. This is
I'm the low man.
Fun game. This is. I was expecting good things, and I got more than I expected out of this. This was a game that we played several hours in a row. We played pretty late into the evening, and I was kind of disappointed that we couldn't keep playing. I mean, it just didn't make any sense to keep playing, but
because we finished chapter 2 at like 12:45, 1 o'clock in the morning. We're all old men, you know. It's like, it was a debate. It's like, do we want to do another chapter? It will literally be 4 o'clock in the morning by the time we finish another chapter.
But it did bring up the whole conversation about having the old days type sleepover.
Staying all weekend and doing it, So this is that kind of game. This is get your friends together and make a weekend out of it, and you're going to have a great time. This is a lot of fun. It plays really well.
Yeah.
It's a ton of stuff. You need a big table. You need to be able to spread out. You're going to want to be able to keep up with your character sheet and stuff. So there's a lot going on. You need to commit to playing this game. This isn't just something we're going to have some couples over for, we're going to have maybe a movie going on and we're just going to play some games. That's not going to work. But and when you take the time to, you put all the effort into getting this game ready to play, then you're going to want to make an event out of it, and it gives it to you. It's a ton of fun. I was thinking about this game 2 days after we put it back in the box. It was that much fun. So gameplay for me, 9.5, fantastic.
That may be and I'm not going to change my component score. It's still really high in my book. But I didn't think about it. They do give you so much stuff in this game. We have a huge table made by Chris here. It took the man 14 months to build this table. This table is 8 by 4.
Oh, it's
Bigger than that.
Maybe bigger than that. We have a huge game table.
about 6 by 10.
And let me tell you, by the time you get your character sheets out and all your little chits on there and tokens, and then you put that map all together, it takes a large area to play. I mean, this is almost a floor game. Where you break out some pillows, sit on the floor, and you put the components out in front of you. Because a regular dining room table, this is larger than somebody's average dinner table.
I've seen people at conventions that don't have a big area like this. They'll break the dungeon down behind them, and keep moving it ahead.
Yeah, because this game takes a pretty wide area. Yeah. But like I said, definitely not anything I'm going to count against. That's a plus in my book. They give you so much stuff that it's going to take a large area to play.
But I thought this is an interesting game. I described it as an RPG. Getting people into RPGs.
Yeah, right. I think this would be
a gateway game. Is what it is.
RPG game. If you have a board gamer who has never played an RPG,
my wife. Yeah, getting to advance your character, an ongoing campaign story. It's nice like that.
Yeah. If they enjoy this, then you can say, all right, well, let's play a real role-playing game.
The next step. Put it all in our minds.
Yeah. Replayability.
Replayability.
Time to
It's a great game. Great thing. Components are awesome. We had a blast playing the first 2 chapters, and I am definitely, much like Mice and Mystics and other games like that, I'm interested to see what the further chapters look like in this game.
Sure. Yep.
So, if
I haven't seen this thing yet.
Yeah, no. That's going to be son of a gun whenever we come up against that thing. It's huge. Replayability, if somewhere, this is not a game that I've got to be in the mood to play, but, anytime somebody wanted to say...
It's a commitment, though.
It is a commitment, and that's the thing, you can't say, we got 30 minutes to kill, do you want to play some Brimstone? You ain't going to do that.
No. It takes that long.
It's going to be like, hey, let's come over, have a few drinks, eat some chips and dip or whatever, and let's play Brimstone for like 3 hours. I'm there.
Yes.
But that's what you've got to do. You can't play this game at a convention easily. You can't play it in 35 minutes. You're going to have several hours dedicated to this game. You're right. You can't be BSing around or whatever, trying to watch something and carry on a conversation and do whatever. You've got to be playing this game. And you're going to play, but you're going to enjoy it.
This is a lock the doors and don't come out for 4 hours game.
So replayability, like I said, it's conditional, but I would play this game at the drop of a hat if we had the time and whatever. So replayability for me is going to go like a 9 on this. The only reason I'm not going to go higher, like I said, it's conditional. You can't do it at the drop of a hat. You got to have a set time to do it. But I would be up for playing this any weekend. We could all get together and play it. So 9 for me.
I'm kind of still debating on how I should go because it is very conditional. Everything he said, but it is a 1-player game. It's a 1 to 4 player game, so you can play this on your own. And with my table set up, I can leave it and come back to it. So.
But that's definitely not the way to play it.
You don't want to
a 1-player this game.
No. And I'm not going to score it as if I wanted to replay it. I'm scoring it for everybody else's information.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to have to dock it because it's so big and it's so involved that you can't just... it's going to take you 30 minutes to pull it out, to set it up, to get everybody's sheets back in order, get all their stuff So I'm going to go ahead and just say an 8 because it's...
Docking games. Because my garage won't hold all my Maseratis. The $100 bills keep falling out of my wallet. And the diamond buckles on my shoes hurt my feet. The game's too big, is what you're saying.
It is.
It is big.
The component score went up because of that, but the replayability... And it's not because I don't want to play it. It's that finding people to commit the time... and the space for it. It's not like I can take it over to somebody who has a folding table and say we're going to set it up over at your house.
Yeah,
tonight.
we're going to have to play it here.
You have to have a space for it, and you have to have the time for it, and you have to have the people because it won't always, the horror theme is not going to go.
But
over
the
with everybody.
replayability, you're giving an 8, not because you don't want to play this game again, because it's conditional of where and when.
It has a lot of conditions on it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's
But if the conditions were perfect, and it'd be like you would go higher than an 8
Yes,
on
definitely.
this,
So I'm going to go with an 8. That's going to be my final
Well,
word.
that is exactly the argument I was having with myself in my head this whole time. Is like sometimes I get frustrated with movie reviews where you'll have a movie that was clearly supposed to be a silly, funny comedy, and you'll have somebody review it and give it a kind of a bad review because they said it wasn't serious enough. Well, it wasn't supposed to be serious. So I'm thinking here, well, am I going to dock this game because it does take a lot of time and because you can't just pull it out anytime, anywhere, any place? But that you should know that going into this game. So for me, I'm not going to dock it, but I can understand how you could. It's kind of a tough one for me. But I think if you're looking for this style of game, then you know what's involved with it, and you're probably going to be seeking it out for those reasons. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a really high 9.0 for replayability for me. With that slight little caveat, the only reason keeping it from being a 10 is that you need the time, you need the other people that also have the time, and you need some space. So, kind of.
And I'm going to say player-wise, even though it's 1 to 4, don't play this game 1 player, and don't play it 2 player. Really, get 3 or 4 people.
You can actually play up to 6 if you have both sets.
Okay, yeah. We played 4-man the other night for quite a while, and then Dave had to leave, and then we played 3-man. It's a blast with 3 or 4 people, So don't try to do it with too few. Too many people might actually make it drag on somewhat.
Well, you're already putting in 4 hours.
That's what I'm saying. So, but 3 or 4 people, this is a good 4-person game. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that I was pretty well wrapped up. Like I said, 9.0, and only because you've really got to be able to put some time aside to play this thing, and that makes it a little harder to work it into your schedule sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's it. So all in all, I think one of the better games we've played in a long time, and you hear that a lot on the Board Game Back Cave, but that's because we review the games that we like or that that we think is going to look fun.
We want you to find out about.
Yeah,
these companies just keep hitting home runs, and this is another really good one.
All right, so there you have it. We're going to put the final tally right there, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a pretty high number. It may even crack a record or so. But we'll see. I don't know. There's a 10 from some people who never give a 10, so that's a pretty good chance it's going to go high.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we are already going to agree that you need to go out and get this game if it's something, if you like those kind of games, and it's definitely a keeper. And I'm probably going to have the second version now, the City of the Ancients, so that we can add, because it has new classes in it too.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah. We got to have the Sling Girl. I mean. All right, thanks again. We'll see you next week on the Bat Cave.
See ya.